Okay, I'm going to do a book called Quiet by Susan Cain. If you actually go on YouTube and type in Susan Cain and TED Talk, she'll elaborate further as far as what her book is. Okay, now her book talks about introverts and how introverts are constantly being pressured to turn into extroverts. She talks about as a child, when she was growing up, she liked to read books rather than go camping or fishing or anything that had to do with going outside. She would rather read a book because reading was like a way of her being, it was like a catharsis. It was her way of go different places across the world and see different things. So if you can kind of relate to that, then you would like this book. She speaks about, marriage, say how you meet a person in marriage. And in marriage, you kind of initially, you guys meet and you guys are like, wow, I'm in love. You're going everywhere. You're going different places. And what happens is when you guys get married, in some cases, the person that's actually an introvert actually comes out and is like, no, I really didn't like doing all of those things. I did all of those things because you wanted to do those things and I wanted to be with you. So she talks about a situation where it's a couple and a guy likes to have his friends over. And the lady is kind of like, no, I don't like when your friends come over. After work on a Friday, I want to spend time with you. I don't want. So they have this kind of thing where they're butting heads. So she talks about relationships and marriage. She talks about religion, how a lot of religious leaders, they believe in their faith community to be extroverts. And most introverts get shamed because they want people out there to spread the word. They want people out there to congregate and share stories and share different experiences with each other. That's what the whole religion, you guys basically have the same mindset and you're trying to share the same ideas. So she speaks about how you can be shamed as a person that is an introvert when you're a person of faith. So she uses examples of that. She talks about education, especially with the prestige colleges. We're talking about Ivy Leagues and some of the top colleges, colleges that you see in the top 10. These are often colleges where you have to have the power of networking. And she uses an example of this kid that's from Asia who's out here, a foreign exchange student that comes out to America, and his culture is different. His culture is different. They believe in different. They have a different set way of doing things. And when he comes to America, the professors are telling him, you have to do public speaking. You have to work as a group. You have to network and you have to do this project with this person. And there's this kind of a feeling amongst the students where you feel this pressure where you're obligated to go network, even though you may not have the time to network, but with studying or trying to have a personal life or trying to do your own thing and be a quiet person, you're often put in these situations where you have to publicly speak, you have to publicly, play the game. And you can get ostracized if you don't play the game. Or, not do well in school because a lot of professors grade on how you speak publicly, the way that you conduct yourself, your confidence. So she speaks about that. She speaks about, how there's pressure amongst people to join sororities and fraternities because a lot of times these kids, they're eventually going to be congressmen, congresswomen, lawyers, doctors, businessmen, businesswomen. So the whole purpose of college is to network. I know the curriculum is well, but oftentimes you eventually go off in your field and the only thing you have left are those connections. So she speaks about that. She speaks about the workplace dynamic, how being an introvert can work against you at the workplace, and different schemes and stuff that people, you're constantly being, people are trying to push you to be an extrovert. And she speaks about the self-help industry as far as like how these seminars go. You're supposed to be an extrovert. You're supposed to be outgoing. And if you want to be a millionaire, this is the way you got to do. And she uses examples of several other people who are millionaires or people that have a lot of clout, including the president, that are actually introverts. They're not into being out there, and they want to be with their family. They don't want to be out doing all of these events, but they have to do what they have to do because of the type of job or the position that they have. I like the book. It was pretty interesting. This book is more affirmation than information. If you're an introvert, this is more like, okay, yeah, I'm an introvert. It makes you more proud of being an introvert. But information wise, it teaches you a little bit something because it's a book, but she tends to tell things, to spin things her way. I believe that in the route of success, if you're a real estate agent, if you're like, it depends on your field, whatever field you may be in, you may actually need to have to go out and network. You have to have some kind of skills of sales, some kind of skills of marketing in order to really succeed in different fields of business. So I felt like she kind of didn't touch on that. She did touch on people that are ambiverts, whatever. And she had a little quiz where you could test yourself to see if what kind of person you are, where would you rank. But for the most part, this book was basically just talking about how if you're an introvert, it was kind of giving you a little bit more confidence in being an introvert. So if you're content with being an introvert, this book is perfect for you. Me personally, I give this book about a 6.5. It's a good book. I mean, worth buying it because it has some valuable information in there if you are an introvert. But I consider myself like a person that's an introvert, but borderline ambivert. An ambivert is a person that doesn't really care if they're in the presence of a lot of people or they're by themselves. They're kind of like, whatever the case may be. They just don't, it's whatever floats their boat. So ambiverts, I see myself as a borderline ambivert because if I'm put in a situation where I have to deal with an in-law or an uncomfortable situation where I'm around a lot of people and it's just kind of uncomfortable, like the incident where I spoke about on my Trash Man Chronicles vacation video. I'm the type of person, I can talk my way out of an awkward situation without being aloof or a person feeling like, oh, this guy's kind of, like of a recluse. This guy's sort of like a recluse. And I have my ways where I can get out of that. So I feel like I'm borderline ambivert. And I feel that in certain industries, you do have to have the skill of being able to sell, being able to market, being able to manipulate and network. Robert Greene speaks on this. He expounds on that about in Mastery, 48 Laws of Power, The Art of Seduction. He speaks about these type of things where sometimes you have to play the game. It's, life is kind of like chess. You have to play the game. And, interesting book. But, I say you go ahead and check it out. Susan Cain. The book is called Quiet. All right, that's just about it. I'm Eddie Starr. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.